4th of March 2024 at the Bintou-Mandi Conference Hall, Aberdeen, Freetown, the West African College of Surgeons continued to hold its 64th annual general meeting and scientific conference with the theme Access to Safe and Affordable Surgical and Anesthesia Care in West Africa. The conference started on the 3rd of March and will end on the 6th of March 2024. One of the key motives of this dialogue is to address surgical service in West Africa and also develop surgical leaders of tomorrow. The meeting brought about senior stakeholders and representatives from all regions of West Africa, including the Minister of Health and Sanitation of Sierra Leone and also the Honorable Vice President of Sierra Leone, who officially declared the 64th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference open.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to welcome you on behalf of the local organizing committee to the historic and beautiful city of Freetown on the occasion of the 64th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the West African College of Surgeons. The theme of this conference is Access to Safe and Affordable Surgical and Anesthesia Care in West Africa, and the sub-themes dwell on National Surgical Obstetrics and Anesthesia Plan, NSOAP, of West Africa, addressing brain drain in the delivery of surgical services in West Africa, and developing the surgical leaders of tomorrow for West Africa. These things will be adequately deliberated upon in the next 4 days. The last WACS conference was held in Sierra Leone in 2008. Since then, remarkable achievements have been made in postgraduate training and mentoring through the help and encouragement of the government of Sierra Leone. Postgraduate residency training is now taking place in surgery, anesthesia, obstetrics and gynecology, etc., and indeed in all the sister colleges.
Sierra Leone has given me a beautiful and productive wife. And not only that, it is in Sierra Leone that I did my first application for WACS. And today, I'm coming by here as president of the sister college of WACS to give a goodwill message. This is great. It is indeed a privilege to be part of this all-important discourse on the occasion marking the 64th Annual General Scientific Conference of the West African College of Surgeons. I bring you fraternal greetings from the Executive Board and Council of our college. The Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons, still being one of the youngest colleges in the region, we are proud to announce that we have made immense strides with our postgraduate training program, which have grown from 4 faculty to 8 faculty down. And to date, we have graduated 125 specialists. I want to personally congratulate faculty from our sister colleges in the sub-region, and particularly WACS, but for partnering with us in the achievement of this feat that has greatly impacted medical services in our country. Your theme for this year, access to safe and affordable surgical and anesthesia care in West Africa, resonates deeply with our vision of ensuring that adequately trained health workers are motivated, I repeat, are motivated as per their qualifications in order to avoid their them migrating from foreign services. Surgical and anesthesia procedures are intended to save lives, but we must also agree that unsafe procedures can cause harm that may lead to increased pre, peri, and post-operative complications. Therefore, it is imperative that a high standard of practice of surgery and anesthesia in West Africa remains and respect the guidelines established by the West African College of Surgeons and the World Health Organization. The Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons therefore wishes you a fruitful deliberation during this 64th Annual General and Scientific Conference of the West African College of Surgeons, and with great outcome and recommendation in favor of medical practice in the West African sub-region and beyond.
The theme and sub-themes address much diagnosed perennial problems which hang as albatrosses around the neck of our governments. And I will also make a common plea for us to expedite action on these. The brain drain, as we all know, is an endemic problem with superimposed cyclical 10-year epidemic breakout. The plea is that this conference must prefer actionable, innovative solutions aimed at stemming the leak and hopefully turn the brain drain into a brain gain. Wake up, Africa. Almost a decade after the passage of the WHO resolution 6815 that brought out and so, where are we, West Africa, with it? Some of us are still stuck in the original starting blocks. We have not marched up with our friends in East Africa, such as Zambia and Ethiopia. Wake up, West Africa. Regrettably, all this costs money. But nearly 25 years after the Abuja Declaration on Health Financing, which decreed that 15% of the national budget should be spent on health sector, my statistics tell me that only 3 out of 45 countries meet the Abuja commitments. Wake up, Africa. We need to find our strategy, and this calls for advocacy and collaboration of the highest order. Above all, let us inculcate such patriotic instincts in our younger colleagues and future leaders that before they join the brain drain exodus, they should pause and ponder that no matter the difficulties now, our countries are worth dying for. Wake up and sleep no more. United we stand. I thank you for your attention.
On the governing board, Senate, and fellows of the National Medical College of Nigeria, as we flag off the 64th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of WACS, holding in the beautiful city of Freetown. Let me at this juncture thank the President, Professor Emmanuel R. Ethiopian, for making our time to attend my visit to the one classroom. Thank you, sir. The theme of the conference is most apt for the times that we find ourselves in West Africa. Access to safe and affordable surgical anesthesia care in West Africa. I thank you once again and wish you a very beautiful conference. Long live the National Medical College. Long live WACS. Thank you.
We congratulate you for the apt topic and theme and substance of this conference. We are here not only to listen to the papers that have been presented, but to declare our determination to work with the West African College of Surgeons in the realization of the recommendations made here, to transform those recommendations into action so that they can be applicable in the ministries of health in the sub-regions and in the West African Health Organization. Let me congratulate the organizers for a successful organization so far, and to wish you good deliberations and success.
It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the 64th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the West African College of Surgeons here in Freetown. I was a bit worried when you get a lot of West Africans together. One of the things that's very, very common, we debate about who has the best jollof rice. I have a secret today, but shh, just between you and I, Sierra Leone has the best jollof rice. This gathering serves as a vital platform for collaboration, knowledge exchange, and innovation in the healthcare field, particularly in surgery and science within our region. I commend the West African College of Surgeons Local Organizing Committee, the LOC, the Ministry of Health, all that team, and all the other ministries and partners for their dedication and support in organizing this conference. The theme of this conference, access to safe and affordable surgical and anesthesia care in West Africa, resonates deeply with Sierra Leone's commitment to improving healthcare services for our citizens. In Sierra Leone, we have made significant strides in this regard, with data indicating a steady increase in access to surgical services nationwide. I would like to underscore the importance of this conference to Sierra Leone by providing some context. With a clear vision, leadership, and direction from His Excellency the President, Brigadier Retired Dr. Julius Maada Bio, Sierra Leone is reimagining healthcare in our country with a distinct focus on universal health coverage, where every Sierra Leone's health counts. Every Sierra Leonean health matters. Our approach in ensuring everybody is visible to the healthcare system is to follow the life stages approach, where services are directed at everyone from pregnancy to safe delivery and all the way to senior citizens with no one left behind. In order to attain this goal, surgical services will be critical at every step of the way, from simple services in rural settings to advanced surgical and anesthesia services at tertiary hospitals. Sierra Leone, like many countries in West Africa, faces numerous challenges in healthcare delivery, particularly in the field of surgery. Limited resources, infrastructure gaps, and a shortage of skilled healthcare professionals have hindered our ability to provide timely and quality surgical care for all who need it. However, despite these challenges, we remain steadfast in our commitment to improving surgical services and ensuring the well-being of all our citizens. As a country, we record about 92% of unmet surgical needs, which is definitely unacceptable. We must all do something about it, and it has to be now. Sierra Leone is actively planning to engage in the adaptation and implementation of the National Surgical Obstetric and Anesthesia Plan, NSO, to ensure equitable access to surgical care across the nation. As the Ministry of Health, we ensure that the implementation of NSO initiatives will significantly reduce surgical wait times and increase the availability of essential surgical equipment and supplies in healthcare facilities nationwide. As the Minister of Health, I am acutely aware of the significant challenges that we face in the healthcare system. Notwithstanding these challenges, there are opportunities for taking advantage of technological improvements and exchange prospects in the forum like this to get us to where we want to be. Surgery plays a critical role in healthcare delivery, addressing a wide range of medical conditions and improving the quality of life for countless individuals. Yet we recognize that many of our communities still have limited access to surgical services. It is imperative that we work together to expand access of safe, affordable, and timely surgical care, particularly in underserved communities. In addition to expanding access, we are also focused on enhancing the quality and safety of surgical services in Sierra Leone. This includes investing in our surgical workforce's training and professional development, implementation of rigorous standards and protocols for surgical procedures, and strengthening our healthcare system to support effective surgical care delivery. By prioritizing quality and safety, we can improve patient outcomes and build trust in our healthcare system. We must prioritize the training and professional development of surgeons and surgical teams across West Africa. Investing in education, training programs, and continuing medical education is essential to ensure that our healthcare workforce is equipped with the skills and knowledge necessary to deliver high-quality surgical care. In addition to improving access and enhancing the skills of our healthcare workforce, we must also prioritize innovation and research, especially in the area of surgery. By fostering a culture of innovation and supporting research initiatives, we can drive advancement in surgical techniques, technologies, and treatment, ultimately improving patient health outcomes and reducing the burden of surgical disease in our region. Collaboration is key to addressing these complex challenges facing healthcare in West Africa. As policymakers, healthcare professionals, educators, researchers, and advocates, we must work together across disciplines, sectors, and borders to strengthen our healthcare system and improve the health and well-being of our populations. I commend the West African College of Surgeons for its commitment to advancing surgical care in our region and for convening this important conference in Sierra Leone. Let me seize this opportunity for us all to acknowledge that sharing knowledge, exchanging ideas, and forging partnerships will help drive progress and transform healthcare in West Africa. I thank you very much for your attention and assure you that the Sierra Leone jollof rice is the best. Thank you.
On behalf of by the powers conferred by the West African College of Surgeons, it's my pleasure to declare and confer on the President of Sierra Leone, an honorary Grand Patron of the West African College of Surgeons. This gown will be given to him as part of that privilege and honor from the college. And this plaque, wherever he places it, will remind him of this relationship with the college forever. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first, let me, on behalf of His Excellency, President Julius Maada Bio, welcome all of you to Sierra Leone and to Freetown. His Excellency is currently out of the country, and he has kindly asked me to convey his fraternal greetings and welcome to all of you. Madame, Messieurs, mes frères de sous-région, je voudrais profiter au nom de son Excellence le Président de la République, qui est pas ici aujourd'hui. À son nom et le nom, le gouvernement et le peuple de la Sierra Leone vous souhaitent bienvenue à Freetown. Je vous souhaite bienvenue dans un pays qui tout le monde qualifie, un pays qui est stable, qui a de l'avenir. Bienvenue. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when the Honorable Minister was making reference to the jollof rice, I said to myself that he has done what I could not do a couple of years ago. When I went to study in Ghana and later in Nigeria at the great University of Ibadan, greatest UI. When I had the opportunity to study in Ghana and the great University of Ibadan, and when I told my colleagues that we have the best jollof rice, they nearly wanted to beat me up. But today, the minister can say that, and I believe he can go scot-free with that. But those days was very difficult for me in the 90s to have ascertained that we have the best jollof rice. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today let me start by clearly stating that it is an honor for Sierra Leone to host the 64th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the West African College of Surgeons, theme Access to Safe and Affordable Surgical Anesthesia Care in West Africa. This esteemed institution, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, symbolizes our drive as a nation, as a region, for excellence in surgical education and practice across the West African region. There is no question of the critical role surgery plays in healthcare, particularly in our region, West Africa. Surgeons and surgical teams are the custodians of healing, processing the skill, knowledge, and dedication to alleviate suffering, restore health, and transform lives. Whether in the operating room or on the front lines of trauma care or in the realm of public health policy, your contributions are invaluable and your impact is immeasurable. We have seen here vividly the President, Professor Izumi, have demonstrated the extent of challenge in his presentation and publication, but have also presented the opportunities that we have to move forward as a region and as an institution. And I want to thank him for that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, improving access to surgical and anesthetic care is not only good for people's health, but it is an essential, though often overlooked component of achieving universal health coverage. Furthermore, there is a growing evidence to suggest today that it is one of the best ways to boost economic productivity in low and middle income countries. As a country with a high unmet need for surgery, a deep commitment to achieving universal health coverage and developing human capital, and when you have a president with a visionary agenda to accelerate inclusive economic growth, I see this gathering as an invaluable opportunity. One of the biggest obstacles to achieving universal health coverage is financing. And at the same time, one of the best ways governments can generate the finances needed to expand coverage is to make surgery more widely available. Policymakers must look at what the evidence is telling us, and will come to realize that the provision of surgical care is not only sustainable, but it is cost efficient, unlike what people are making us to believe. Similarly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we must be open-minded and data-driven regarding new approaches that bring efficient gains to surgery and to many other areas across the health and social welfare sectors, including task sharing, public-private partnerships, and emerging technologies and artificial intelligence. In Sierra Leone, we are aware of the importance of investing in surgery, and not just for individual and population-led health gains, but for broad-based economic growth and prosperity. Indeed, we believe we cannot afford not to make this investment. Untreated and underrated conditions requiring surgery impact economic productivity. Recent studies estimate that the future to improve surgical care in low and middle income countries will translate into 12.3 trillion of lost economic output by 2030. Distinguished surgeons, as a nation, we are proud of the progress we have made so far to expand access to surgery, particularly in rural and underserved areas. Surgical volume rates have increased from 400 to 506 procedures per 100,000 people since 2012. Obstetric surgeries have increased by 160% nationwide. There has also been an increase in the number of surgeries performed in public facilities. 61% of all procedures and 85% of C-sections are now being performed in the public sector. The proportion of surgical procedures performed in the provinces outside of the Western area have also increased tremendously. I must also mention that in the same period, we have reduced our maternal mortality rate by 38%, from 717 to 443 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births. We have achieved these gains through a combination of different initiatives, including introducing the free healthcare initiative for pregnant women, bolstering supplies and human resources in public facilities, training surgeon specialists in country, establishing postgraduate college of health specialties to expand local training across the board, the introducing a tax sharing surgical initiative in 2011 to strengthen first-level public hospitals in the provinces. Distinguished surgeons, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud of the gains, but equally aware of the work that still needs to be done. Unmet surgical needs in Sierra Leone is estimated at about 91%. This is unacceptable. We will protect the gains already made and continue to expand surgical access until every Sierra Leonean, whether they are in Moritown or in Mafindo, can access the quality surgical services they may need in their lifetime, regardless of their income. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, going forward, we will pay strong attention to regulation, quality assurance, and remuneration of surgeons and healthcare workers across the public and private sectors, including the newly introduced cadres supporting surgery, surgical assistant community, health officers, and clinical officers to safeguard quality of services, especially in the provinces. In addition, we will continue to increase training of medical doctors in surgery and obstetrics, both specialists and non-specialists, in order to ensure a diverse surgical workforce nationwide. As we all know, unmet surgical needs is not only a problem in Sierra Leone, but across the West Africa sub-region and the world in general. Some 5 billion people, almost 70% of the world population, lack access to safe, affordable, surgical, and anesthetic care. Not surprisingly, the poor suffer disproportionately, while low-income countries are home to about 35% of the global population. Only 3.5% of all surgical procedures performed globally take place in these countries. At this point, we must work together to tackle this deficit in our own countries and across the sub-region. South-South cooperation and partnership is central to this, and there is much to attest to the fact that the true spirit of partnership is alive, and we can feel it in this room. In 2021, a fuel tanker exploded in Wellington, east end of Freetown, injuring and killing dozens of our compatriots and surgeons from around the world, including Liberia, Senegal, Italy, and the USA came to our aid within days of the incident. Earlier in 2024, we were able to provide similar crisis support to Guinea and Liberia, who also suffered from horrific explosion, by providing emergency surgical care to victims. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and just this month, Sierra Leone has benefited from the invaluable services provided by the West African College of Surgeons outreach team, who performed 150 specialized surgeries to vulnerable communities in Freetown, Kenema, Makeni, and Kono ahead of this conference. Let me use this opportunity, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to thank the surgical outreach team for your selfless service to humanity, particularly to your people in the sub-region. In addition to this deeply courageous and compassionate humanitarian support between neighbors, the West African College of Surgeons invaluable ongoing partnership work across the sub-region, which we all contribute to and benefit from. And for this, we are truly grateful. I thank you very much. Continuous collaboration and knowledge sharing among healthcare professionals from across West Africa and the world is vital. It is vital to our efforts. It is vital to our commitment to deliver healthcare in this region. In Sierra Leone, we are committed to our partnership with the West African College of Surgeons, and we look forward to continued support from the college as we develop our newly opened medical school at Jala University. We lag in medical education, but our postgraduate medical education is now picking up the momentum it deserves. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in closing, let me take this opportunity to encourage you to draw inspiration from our rich shared heritage and the diversity of experiences that unite you as members of the West African College of Surgeons. Together, let us continue to innovate, to strive for excellence, to uphold the highest standard of professionalism and ethics, and leave a lasting legacy of healing and hope for generations to come. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I must say at this juncture that given the prevailing momentum that I am experiencing and we are all feeling here, we need to expand the dialogue space with policymakers. We need to engage more. We need the government and the sub-regional institutions to build on such momentum and expand the space for shared support. We need to support those systems that will allow us to leverage the benefit and dividend of your work as an institution. As a student of public policy and democracy from the great University of Ibadan, let me state at this stage that in those days when we were going to universities, studying political science at Ibadan, at Frobe College and the University of Bordeaux in France, we are reminded that at those days, the days were in the 1990s, when as student of political science, we used to measure what we call state collapse. And one of the indicators to measure state collapse in that period is to look at the functionality of institutions and the quality of public service. And make no mistake, healthcare delivery was one key measurement that we used to measure state collapse. We have what we call in social science, stateless and statelessness. When you say statelessness, is the progressive loss of the capacity of a state to deliver public service. When you say stateless, is the gradual building of the capacity of that state to deliver service. Healthcare service, healthcare delivery has been one of the key indicators that we use to measure state collapse. In the late 90s, when we started to democratize African countries, we said that if you improve public governance, if you improve the governance of the state, then you will help the state to build the capacity to deliver public services. We have made a lot of gains in those periods, but believe you me, when you see what is happening today, and when you see the region, there's increasing tension in the region. Like a distinguished surgeon just said, we are going through very difficult times. The region is going through very difficult times. Some of the gains we have made in democracy and political stability in some part of the region is being threatened. Today, you have issues of governance crisis. You still have issues of social crisis, and you still have stability challenges. But when I see the momentum in this room, and when I see the dedication of the West African College of Surgeons, believe you me, it gives hope. It gives hope to the region, and I believe our effort to reverse state collapse and be able to build the capacity of the state to deliver services such as healthcare service, I think we are in the good book. And I want to thank you for this dedication, and I want to thank you for that commitment. It is on that promising note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that I want to declare the 64th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference open. I thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.